part of my collection, specifically Marvel. So Marvel Legends and the pre-Marvel Legends from the early 1990s. And what you can see here is practically many variations of Hulk that I have, and the thing from Fantastic Four, some of the Marvel icons at the back. Don't have that many of them, I have about 3 of them. Then I have a bunch of buff ones such as Galactus at the back here. And then Blab from the Hasbro line. And then we have Mojo here, who is complete as well. And then we have Analeus, also from Hasbro, buff. And we have some older stuff such as the Gremlin or the Mecha Hulk, supposedly a very rare one, back in the day, in 2003 or thereabouts. Then we have also Marvel Select, which is one of my favorites because they're quite large in size and the price was rather good for most of these that they keep making. This was one of the first ones in Marvel Select called the Grey Hulk, Ultimate Grey Hulk. And this would be a few years later, the Savage Hulk, or the actual regular Hulk. And then the exclusive for the Big Bad Toy Store, which was the Red Hulk, or the Rulk, as they're calling him. And then 2 more, which would be the Abomination, who is quite heavy, actually very detailed and very nicely done. And then the Thing from Fantastic Four, practically all 5 of them being from the Marvel Select line. There is an upcoming one coming, which obviously I do not have yet, which would be the Juggernaut, also coming from Marvel Select. He should be roughly in a size of Abomination or the Red Hulk, thereabouts. And then there is also a few other ones that are my personal favorites, such as Thanos, who is also, by the way, from Marvel Select, and he's quite well done. And then the Juggernaut from the early Toy Biz Marvel Legends, who has a removable helmet. And he has quite an expression. Kane Marco, the half-brother of Professor X. And we shall see how will he look like in Marvel Select once he comes out. For now, this is the only one I have, and I'm quite happy with it. And I have another Abomination, which was from the 2003 Hulk series, which was quite rare in those days. I remember it used to cost up to $60 back then. But I got mine at a fairly decent price, thanks to a collector without whom I wouldn't really have many of these things, and I'm very eternally grateful to him to let me have these. If you're watching this video, Kevin, I would really like to thank you so much for letting me have your collection and helping me fill out my own. And you have nothing really to worry about because they found a very good home, as you can see. And thanks so much for all the toys I got from you. I really appreciate it. And if you look a bit further, we also have MODOK, who is also from the buff Marvel Legends. He's quite well done, and I like the detail on him. It looks quite good.
But that's my turn.
And so many other characters. I decided to just give you a group shot of the collection of the figures that are practically all bulky size, or let's say medium heavyweights. So I just decided to combine all of them in one enormous group shot, as you can tell. This is also one of my personal favorites. This is Maestro, who has a bit of a difficulty with his belt, but this is one of the best Maestro Hulks ever done, because he has particular details on the belt. Practically all the good guys and the bad guys he defeated. He has Doctor Strange's cape, Thor's hammer, and Captain America's shield, and Wolverine's skeleton attached to his other arm. This is by far the best Maestro from the pre-Marvel Legends series long ago. And of course here we have the newer version of Maestro, who is also nice, but not as interesting little details as the previous one, but still, he can pass. And one of the best Venoms out there. This would be the Scorpion who absorbed the Venom's costume and became the new Venom. And he has the Sting at the back of him.
How about this one?
And we also have Kingpin here. We have Rhino from Spider-Man. The fellow whose name I forget, he would be from the Hulk computer game based on the new movie with the Abomination. And this is the 2099 futuristic Hulk, which wasn't related to the actual Hulk. He just happened to have the same powers and looks like a freak of a sort. And this is the Buzzing Beetle from Spider-Man Legends. And the Grey Hulk. I actually have 2 different ones. This Grey Hulk will be the first appearance from the Marvel Legends Toy Biz. And this one would be from the Fin Fang Foom Hasbro Hulk series. And here we have It, or you can even call him Ting, but his name is It, from the Toy Biz boxed set of the House of M. And this guy doesn't belong to Marvel, but I decided to really put him in because he's very massive in size, and he's the only one who doesn't match this whole group here. He's actually from the Hellboy movie Part 2. And these guys here, as I mentioned, three of them are Marvel Select, except for this one. This is the largest buff one I have for the moment. And as a matter of fact, I have a few more large buff ones. I have a few more large buff ones, which unfortunately are not here. I have them back in another country where I stayed for a while. I have also Apocalypse and Sentinel, but for now I cannot display them due to the certain circumstances. I will be able to maybe in a faraway future. But for the moment, this is what I have, and this is another buff one which I believe I may have forgotten to mention, which is from Hasbro, and this is the supposedly the combination of Magneto and Professor X. And he was supposed to be the enemy of all the X-Men and Brotherhood and so forth, and he was quite a deadly enemy, I understand. Created from the bad thoughts of Magneto and Professor X, I believe, and he was combined from their thoughts to create an ultimate creature of a sort. I'm not too familiar with the character, but I know the best I could find on the internet. And here we have the King Hulk from the Hasbro Fin Fang Foom series, and his son, the Skrull. I'm sorry, it's not the Skrull. I exactly forgot his name. But anyway, this is the son of Hulk. You can tell father and son very much look alike, with a slight difference in the color. And this is the Hulk from the Valkyrie Hulk 2-pack. That was the fan's choice. The latest Hulk I got recently. And here we have the Savage Hulk from the 2003 series of Hulk figures. And this is the Tribal Hulk from the House of M Toy Biz box set. He has a lot of tattoos. I don't really know his background story much, except that he's called the Tribal Hulk, and it was a different kind of Hulk altogether in that storyline. And here we have Beast from the X-Men. He is also quite a nice figure. I don't remember why people really didn't care much to buy him back in the day, but he's a very well done, the best representation so far. And this is one of the strangest Venoms I have seen in the pre-Marvel Legends. He looks like a rabbit, like a freaked out rabbit, but he's quite interesting nonetheless. He's like a combination of a space rabbit with the alien, or something of that sort. Quite a freaky looking figure, but nice nonetheless. And here we have a pre-Marvel Thing from Fantastic Four, who is quite nice from at least that time period. And here we have the Absorbing Man, the only one I have, but again from pre-Marvel Legends. And the Smart Hulk from pre-Marvel Legends was also quite a nice figure altogether. And the Man-Thing from Marvel Legends. And there's the Kingpin there. And here we have the guy who belonged to his name is Sasquatch, and he belonged to the organization in which Wolverine belonged to, which was similar to X-Men, and he was a member of their team, of Alpha Flight, that is, long before he joined the X-Men, and this was one of his teammates. And I understand he also had some encounters with the Hulk as well. He's also a scientist like Bruce Banner, and he was infected, I believe, with the same kind of radiation which turned him into Sasquatch. And we have another Smart Hulk here, and this is the one from 2003 series. I did not put his laser gun because his laser gun is way too heavy for him to support it. And then we have Joe Fixit, which is another Hulk when he was an enforcer, and he's holding quite a big machine gun from 2003 series. And this is the first appearance Thing from Marvel Legends, which is quite a nice figure, but he was quite small compared to other things made later on. And this is another Thing from Marvel Legends, but a Fantastic Four series. And he's quite well done. He has a lot of articulation. And finally, he's one of the few things that can actually put his hands into a fist, because previous ones were usually made with their hands flat. You couldn't even curl them into a fist or anything. I believe such figures are not that good because they should really be able to make a fist, especially when they're so massive in size. And that's pretty much most of them. I would like to thank all of you guys for giving me a chance to show you a small tidbit of what I got. And I hope to be able to show you much more in the weeks to come. Thanks.